Khamzat returning. I mean, he is obviously a fan favorite. It's strange with him, Dana, because he fights twice in 10 days. He fights like 3 times in 2 months, in 66 days, I think it was, and obviously has dealt with some medical stuff since then. Are you satisfied? Do you think Khamzat's back now and really can make this run to what he hopes is a title?
I feel like Saturday night, this is obviously the biggest fight of Khamzat's career. There's no doubt about it. And this is a massive fight for Robert Whittaker. This is a really, really tough fight for both guys. So whoever comes out of this fight, the winner, is in a very, very good position. You couldn't be in a better position than being the guy who wins this fight.
A lot of people have speculated that you're going to make Sean and Dricus, you'll make that rematch. Obviously, that was such a close fight. Is there anything that Robert or Khamzat could do, Dana, to sort of slide themselves in ahead of Sean?
You never know. I mean, we'll see how this thing plays out on Saturday. There are a lot of things to determine who fights for the title next. Injuries, timing, where is it? I mean, there's a lot of different factors that determine who fights, but anything is possible.
We talked to Khamzat. He said, I think Kamaru's my toughest opponent. I think Kamaru will end up being tougher than Robert. What do you make of the matchup when you see it? Do you think this is the toughest? It's his most important, but is it his toughest fight?
There's no doubt this is his toughest fight. It's up a weight class. So, and he's going in against a guy who's former world champion, who has fought all the best in the world, at a bigger weight. So this is definitely the toughest test of his career.
It feels like Ilia Topuria is becoming a bigger and bigger star by the day. Obviously, we know what Max Holloway has done. Well, sort of preview that one for us, Dana, if you can.
Yeah, listen. So I was literally there. There's some of the ministers of sport here to watch Slap tonight from Qatar, and I was just telling them they had never been to a Slap event, obviously, but they'd never been to a UFC event either. Saturday night, the co-main event, when Chimaev and Whittaker walk in that arena, that the place is going to erupt. It's going to be insane. And then the main event, even more. And the great thing about the main event, it is impossible for that fight not to be just either one of those two fights could be fight of the year.
Right.
When it's said and done. So, and then obviously for Max to come in and get the opportunity to get his title back. And then for a guy like Topuria, like you said, is a huge rising star to beat somebody, Hall of Famer, future Hall of Famer, Max Holloway. Massive.
Dana, if Max wins the fight, I mean, he goes up, he fights and beats Justin in absolutely epic fashion. Is he in the, maybe he's there already, but is he in the conversation in your mind for greatest of all time if he is able to recapture the title after being champ for years, going up, fighting the most badass dudes in the entire sport? What do you think about that?
He is definitely one of the greatest of all time. He's one of the all-time greats and one of the all-time fan favorites. I mean, everybody loves Max Holloway.
Yeah, I think it's impossible to not watch and talk to Max and not like the guy. Anything, or do you have any interest in Ilia and Islam? I know that's something that Ilia has seems like it's piqued his interest. He's talking about it a lot.
This is his first title defense.
I know it.
Before we start talking about guys moving up to other weight classes, when you look at Max Holloway, when he moved up, he had wiped out the entire division, best 145 pounder, blah, blah, blah. Then Volkanovski, and, there's plenty of challenges for him at 145.
Max won the BMF title. Is the BMF title on the line? I don't think it is because I haven't heard you say it, Dana, but is that on the line?
It is not.
Okay.
It is not on the line.
Okay. You're going to keep going with the BMF? It seems like the fans really dig it and they're into it.
The BMF's fun. People love it. So, yeah, absolutely.